We're going to be talking about hair loss. Hair loss is a big deal for all of us, actually most of us, and I am so excited to hear your story and your journey. And this girl is awesome. She's going to school, working, and she's, doing her best she can. So we're gonna dive right in. Hey everyone, Janeen here from Lupus Health Shop. We have a special guest today, Ashley Horn.
Hi. How are you guys?
You were diagnosed with lupus how long ago?
So it's gonna be like I think on the brink of like 5, going into 6 years. I got diagnosed my junior year, the summer before my junior year of high school.
It's so hard.
Yeah, I was 16. I'm 21 now, but it was a shock. But life goes on.
What did you deal? What did you do?
Um, I'm not gonna lie. Like for a while there, I want to say like for like 2 to 3 years, I wasn't like coping well. Like it's a big adjustment. It's mostly with my joints and like my level of energy and like the amount of fatigue I experience is like off the charts. That's actually how I got diagnosed. I wasn't able to get out of bed. Um, I was playing volleyball at the time, and after like hell week, all like sports players have like a hell week where it's like in very intense like conditioning and stuff like that, getting ready for the season, and I wasn't able to get out of bed. Like my whole body hurt, my joints were stiff. And my mom took me to my doctor, and she's like, "It looks like you have lupus." Sure enough, they did biopsy, and it was it. But it was really hard at first, but eventually, you gotta pick yourself up and like keep going, and just learn how to adjust and listen to your body. Honestly, that's all I can like. That's all I.
Yeah, being in tune with your body, it makes such a big difference. I mean, those little cues that you feel like, oh, I feel like I'm coming down a little bit, or I need to sit down for 10 minutes, and I think that will help. Those they do help. So you're so right. Listening to what you're feeling and listening to those little symptoms that are starting to creep up make a big difference.
I mean, it takes a while to get to know your body, and actually listen to it and be in tune with it. It's important that you listen and just like, okay, I know it's gonna happen, but like maybe I can stretch it a little bit. No, pace yourself. Life isn't a race. You don't have to do everything.
Totally agree. Being diagnosed with lupus, you're going to college, and you started a blog, and you're really trying to share your journey on social media, and I absolutely love that. So, what inspired you to feel like you can open up?
I think it was just a matter of the people around me like kind of giving me that nudge. Like, I mean, everybody has a story. Everybody's affected by lupus differently. And I think I have like a unique point of view where I'm really in college, I'm doing like normal, 21-year-old things, but I also have a serious autoimmune illness. And, the struggle that I went through, I just wanted to help maybe give some tips or like let girls, women, young men my age know that like you're not alone, and we're all going through this together. You know.
Absolutely, and it's so important. It's really courageous of you to do that, especially because I remember when I was in high school and in college, I did not want to open up about it at all. So I think it's awesome that you're doing that.
No, it took me. Don't get me wrong. Like it took me a couple of years. Like I was in complete denial. I was like, you know what, my life can go on as completely as planned. Like I don't have to make any type of lifestyle changes. Until one day my lupus was just like, nope, sit down. Like, we're not doing this. And, you know, I had an aha moment, like, okay, you know, I have to change, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you know, it's a great message. You have to change to better yourself, and it's okay to change. It may not be like the change that we want, but in the end, it's going to really help us control our symptoms, and we have to be proactive for it to work. So yeah. I love it. I love what you're doing. Speaking of tips and tricks, one of our lupus life hacks to hair loss and our hair struggle is hair gains. So, and I know you won. So Ashley was able to get hair gains because we did a giveaway on Lupus Health Shop's Instagram page, and she won. And so all I asked from her was that if she could just let me know how she likes it. And within like 2 weeks, she messaged me and she's like, this has changed my life. And so I would love to hear a little more, like what happened.
So how you made the Lupus hair gains oil, it has like all like the good stuff that my, like, I guess my hair was just like dying for. So I knew that my scalp and my hair itself was just really dry and stuff. So at first, you know, I was just like, all right, oil, cool. Put it in my hair like every other day. And I don't know what happened, but my hair just like devoured it, and my hair started getting like really thick and like shiny like it was before my lupus. And then I started realizing, you know, my hair was like starting to grow back in places. I was getting like those fuzzy little like new growth patches and stuff like that. And my hair just loves it. I was able to, I like kind of bombarded it with the oil at first, and then I was able to back off a little bit, but my hair just, it loves it. Even when like I have protective styles like braids or something like that, I like how I can just use the dropper and just go through my hair and still keep my hair nice and fed and nourished.
That's awesome. So you're able to use it even with your braids. That's great to know. Because I actually had someone else asking me if they could do that, so I'll let them know.
Yeah, the dropper like really helps get like into the areas, and then you just, you know, go through and like rub your hair, and it'll spread.
I'm so glad that you're seeing results. I'm really happy because, you know, I know back when I was in college, the same thing was happening to me, and I was like, oh my God, I'm pulling clumps out of my hair. This cannot happen, you know?
Yeah. Especially, I think with girls, I mean, whether it's short or long, hair is just so important.
It is.
In like today's like culture, like what you do to your hair, how you style it, the color, especially to like girls. So like having your hair fall out like can be like really, really like tragic, and like having it thin and just not being used to the way it's like breaking off and stuff like that, and learning how to adjust, having like a nourishing oil like hair gains just makes your life a little bit easier because your hair is getting everything that it needs in like one swoop.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you know, it's basically literally it. So there's only 5 ingredients, and those ingredients have all of the biotin that you could ever need in your life. It has vitamin E, A, you know, it's got fatty acids that our scalp needs so bad. And we know it needs those nutrients because it's telling us, because hair is dying before it's supposed to. And so, you know, there's a link below to a blog that explains what our hair, there's 3 phases to your hair growth. And when you take medications like prednisone or other steroids, or even, you know, immunosuppressive drugs, it stops your hair from growing in those different stages. So we can counteract that by using the oil, and those vitamins and minerals are going into our scalp, and it's feeding them extra nutrients that it would really be missing because of all the medications. And same with lupus. Lupus depletes our body of nutrients because it's chronically inflamed. So that kind of combats it. So I'm really happy to hear that it's helping you, and I'm so glad that we've been able to, you know, keep all of our hair, and then we can
Yeah.
like, you know.
My hair is like braided up right now, but yeah, I love it. And even my I know my roommate, she's like, your hair got so thick, like what are you using? And I was just like, I got sent this hair gains oil. It's like, I mean, it's not especially for lupus, but like, you know, it helps like people who have lupus and autoimmune diseases. She's like, can I have some? I was like, it's mine, but I'll share. But yeah, she loves it too, and she doesn't have an autoimmune disease. It just, I think it's just good for everybody whose hair just needs a little extra.
TLC.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm really glad to hear that it's working out for you, and you know, I'm excited to hear that it's helping more people, because this is something that I've kept to myself for you know, a little while now, and now that to know that it's helping other people, I'm ready to go. So if anyone below wants to buy one, they are 4 ounces. They last at least 4 months, maybe more. It depends how often you use it, maybe even 6 months.
I used it a lot, so it lasted me like 3 or 4 months. I still have some left because I've just been like holding on to it. But yeah, it lasts about that long.
Awesome, great. So, you know, we'll have a link below. We're going to be having a hair gains kit that's going to have a hair cap, mascara, tube so you can put on your eyelashes and your eyebrows, and then it's going to have a nice waterproof travel bag. So if it ever happened to leak, it will not get everywhere. So if you could give one piece of advice to someone who has been diagnosed with lupus and who's either working or trying, you know, in their 20s like you, trying to figure out their future, what would you give them? What have you learned?
Well, what I've learned from my lupus journey is that it's not a race, and everybody's finish line. You're gonna get there, but the road and pathway that you get there, the time it takes, it's gonna vary, and that's okay if it takes you a little bit longer. There's nothing wrong with that as long as you reach the finish line and through the obstacles, you'll be fine. But advice, organization, definitely. It makes your life easier having like everything planned out, especially plan your self-care. I cannot stress that enough. Plan your self-care, because if you're not taking care of yourself, everything else falls to pieces. But yeah.
You are wise beyond your years.
Thank you.
Seriously, that's such perfect advice. You know, I think once all of us go through our like 5 stages of grief almost, and we realize that we're exactly where we're supposed to be, even though we didn't want to get there that way, it's totally worth it. And self-care cannot, you know, say that enough. Totally agree. Self-care is everything, because without that, we're going to be on the couch and not happy. So I mean, thank you.
I definitely like I take my lupus as an excuse, you know, to pamper myself every like other week. You know,
there you go.
It's a part of your health. You have to take care of yourself a little extra, especially if you have autoimmune.
Agreed. Totally agree. So everyone, take care of yourself. That includes the hair gains. That includes, you know, 30 minutes to yourself. Whatever you want to do, you got to do it. So thank you so much, Ashley. It was awesome having you on our Lupus Life Hack series. Yeah, absolutely. Our discount code, if you want to purchase the hair gains, you'll get 15% off. Just use the code Ashley. It will be in the description below. Her social media account will as well be in the description below. So make sure you give her a follow and tell her hello. And I think that's about it. So thank you so much, everyone, and we will see you next week.
Bye.